Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. So, yesterday was it just yesterday? It was today at 2 o'clock in the morning. I posted this animation here, and immediately I got a lot of questions about it. And I wrote here, if you want a free tutorial for this one, just let me know in the comments. And I got many comments. And so I thought, now I have a little time, so why not making this one now? Because it's not really hard to do, and it's quite quick to, you will see it, but it's only the idea behind. And so yeah, let's start. I'll show you how I did this, and I hope you show me your trippy things, your psychedelic things later. Okay. We need for this the volume builder, of course. So otherwise, maybe it would go in older versions. It would work with meta balls as well. But we have volume builder, and so we use volume builder. First, I start with a cube here, and let's make the cube in the X and Y 1000 should be fine. Okay. Great, and we put this whole thing. First, I make a camera to have this nicely in center, everything. So 0 by 0, 0 by 0, and here minus 900 or something else, minus 1000. Yeah, okay, because when we later on we smooth this out a little bit, so this should work here. And this is a rigging tech protection. Okay. And the next step is for patrons. The Octane version is already online for download for this, and I do it here now with the physical render. So, but it's exactly the same technique for Octane and physical render, so it's totally the same. Okay. Now let's bring in the cube in a volume builder and measure. Volume builder, whoops, volume measure, whoops. But I don't need here a assigned distance field. So, come on, object. I need the fog here. So let's go to the fog and make it a little, let's say a voxel size of 5 maybe, or 7 for the moment for the tutorial. As lower this number is better, the result will be, of course, but as longer it will need to calculate and then. So just try your numbers until you are satisfied. For the tutorial, I think this should do it. Now I need a shader field. Create field, shader field. Okay, and go bring it in here. And let's see what it does. It does nothing for the moment, because in the shader field we have nothing inside. So we got no shader. For the shader I use a noise, and nothing happens. This is because when we go to our volume builder, you see in the shader field it's set to box, and the box is 140 to 140, so we see nothing. So let's go to objects below, and immediately we see, we get something. But this is not what we want. So first of all, I want to have a world space here, and I want this quite big. So let's say 2000. And you see, okay, that looks more interesting. But as far as I remember here, I used the displaced Voronoi here. Okay, yeah, this is fine. See, that looks great, but we don't get this detailed noise later, because we smooth this totally out. So. Okay. The next step here is smooth this out. So we need a fog smooth, and you see we get something like that, and that looks great. But I don't want the holes behind. I don't want to see through this whole thing. So what I do is, let's disable this for the moment. I copy this cube here and drag the second cube, let's say 150 back. So somewhere like here. Fine. And bring this cube to here. So it adds. So first we have the cube, then we have the shader field, and then we have this cube. And then we get something like this now. And this is perfect for me. Let's go NA for hiding the. You see, looks a little jaggy or something, but we have a good speed here. As I said, if you go down here, 135, you will get better and better result, and this is smooth here. But you can play it later on. So for the tutorial, this is quite nice. And now the most important thing here comes. What I do is, let's stay with this. I make a cloner with spheres. So sphere, clone this sphere, and let's see, 3, 1. Okay, let's give it 5 by 5. Fine. And randomize everything a little bit. So I go to my cloner, MoGraph effectors, random effector. In the random effector, I want to affect the position in the Y and in the X. So let's go down here a little bit and a little bit here. So, okay, fine. And I want to randomize the scale as well. So I'm going to do here. And -0.7 or something else should be fine. Yeah. And so we can make more cloner, let's see, 8 by 8 maybe. But I want to go back, so I want the endpoint. The endpoint was 800 before with the 5 by 5. Okay, that's perfect. Let's save this for a moment. Whoops, and I just call it trippy. Let's trippy. That's okay. And now I want to animate the C position of the spheres here. So I go to my cloner. We could do this with a random effector as well, but I prefer the shader effector for this because you can better loop and something. So I believe you can do it with the random as well, but I use the shader here. Go to the effector, shader effector, name it shader, move in the C direction. And what I want to the position and the C position. Let's say 500. Okay, this is not what we want, but of course in the shader effector we need shading as well. So let's bring in a noise and see. Okay, that does something, but only in one direction. So what we have to do is go to our shader effector and set the min max to here, -100 and +100. So now we have a wonderful, interesting thing. And here, of course, we can now animate this noise here. Let's see how this looks when we animate it. So we're at 0.1 and 4, because I have 4 seconds here. Looks nice, but too fast. I make 200 frames. In my original animation I made 500 frames, but here it's 8. This should be the half of the speed. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, but it goes maybe a little far out here. So let's go back here. the parameter, maybe 300 is enough here. Okay, nice. Now let's go to our camera, and you see already we have to go a little closer. So go to this and open it in the C directions. That looks nice. And bring the cloner into the volume builder. So bring the whole cloner here into the volume builder under the smoother. And we get this, and when we animate this, you can imagine, this looks quite interesting. Of course, now you can, if you see here, this looks a little boring at the beginning, but there will come some, you see, there will come out then some spheres. But if you say this is too boring for me here, this part, simply go back to the shader field and play with the seed until you like it. So okay, until everything looks maybe this. This is the part where I play around for at least half an hour, mostly an hour, until I find really this one I like. Okay, let's say this is it. To be sure that we find we have a nice, we can even animate this shader field here. So let's animate this one too. So 0.1 and 8. So now, wait, we have to do here. We have to go to frames, otherwise it wouldn't change anything. But now, even the noise in here changes. So this is totally trippy. I think I want to make the noise a little bigger, 2500. And I go back to the 6, 7, 8 or 665 is the original, yes. Of course, you can use a different noise as well, if you don't like this noise. See, you can go here to the display store and try to make cycles. Yeah. So you have lots of possibilities here. But okay, let's say we are happy with this, but I am not really happy with this look here. Devil's number. Okay, try. No, this is the wrong one. Let's go with this up. So we get more. That looks maybe better. Okay, now let's go to the texturing. Save. And now the texturing is quite easy here. It looks complicated, but it is a very easy thing. So as I said, it's in Octane it's the same. Just make a gradient, blah blah blah. Same like here. But in Octane you should use a cinema gradient and not the Octane gradient, because then you can choose between U and V direction. Good. So we need just a simple gradient, and we need it in the V direction here. I'll let it in the default for the moment. Let's use a gradient with lots of stripes. Let's say this one here. Okay. And put it on our volume mesh. Let's do this. I will make this volume measure here. Current state to object, just that I don't need every time to wait to calculate. We just want to texture it here. Later on, when we have the texture ready, we put it on the volume measure and then we can render out the whole animation. But for the texturing itself, we can use a still as well, so we don't need an animation. And it works quick. Yeah. So you see, okay, this is not what we want. The first thing we need here is a flat mapping. So we go to here. Not a UV mapping, we want a flat mapping. Okay, looks not bad. But now we have to turn these coordinates. One of these we have to turn 90 degrees. Oop. That's the wrong one, I think. It's easier when you go to the texture tag here. Volume measure texture tag and go in the texture thing. So you see here the texture. So we can rotate it now in texture mode. So 90 degrees. Go out of the texture mode. And now, yeah, it was this minus 90 degrees, doesn't matter, okay. And now let's go to here and set the gradient from U to V. And this is exactly what we need. When we go now in our camera, we get this trippy view. It looks so great. But if you don't want it so close together, the stripes, you can make the gradient bigger or less colors, or you can go here in the size here and make the size here, let's say the 200, and you see you get something like this, but 100 looks quite nice here. Okay, and back in our camera, and that's it. That's the whole trick on this. For now, let's see what we can do here even more. This looks everything a little no, not flat, but a little boring. Let's go here to low. Okay. So in my original one, you see some stripes here that looks like layered, and some layers on top of each other, and not just one blob thing. So we can do this here. In Octane, I just used a bump. I will do the same here, but here I can use a normal map as well, because we have the normalizer. We don't have a normalizer in Octane. Here we have one. And if we go here, let's see, we should see this without. We take this gradient here, copy it. Let's go to the bump. And the bump, for the bump we need a black and white picture. So let's disable it for now. So we paste it. And here, and take a colorizer. And now you see I have a black and white picture. Let's go right up here, 200 maybe, and the bump, and you see we get a totally different thing, and this makes layered up. Here we don't see it so well because I'm on a very low sample thing. I think this is almost too much here. So. And the same we can do with the normal map. We can disable this. We still have our gradient here in the you know it in clipboard. Here we do the same. Yeah, we could have, it's easier, we go to here, copy this one, so we have one, so we don't have to do this with the colorizer, so paste. Okay, but this will not work. So what we need before is go to the effects and normalizer. And here the normalizer will make from a black and white picture a normal map. So paste the black and white picture. Let's go here to 100. Up. 100 is okay, and activate it. And let's go to object mode. And I say 500. As I said, we have here a very low resolution, but if we mix this two here, you see we get this. We make a nicer render. You will see this gives us some nice effect here. Okay. So let's bring in some lighting and everything. We have nothing here, no GI, no nothing here. So normally we don't even would need GI here, I think. But we need something to reflect in our scene here. So Nikomedias Scene Rig, of course. But I don't need nothing here. So boing, 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 boing. Only the HDRI, and let's bring in a nice. In 24 I have to do this over the asset browser. Normally I would go to the object manager. So let's take this one here. Okay, and immediately we see what it does. And let's see. Play a little bit. Okay, let's see if we see a difference here between GI. Oh, it makes a difference. Okay. Okay. Now we see this bump thing very well. So this is not too much. Let's go back to 50 or something. And with the okay. Okay. Here we see it a little. Here we see it nice. This layering. It looks like paper layers or something else, you know. And this is what I like. Maybe you don't like it, so you can make it, of course, simple flat thing here. But I like this with the bump. Okay. But let's go back to here and the reflectance a little more. 15. Yeah, that looks better. And if we are not happy with this, we can of course play with the colors here. We can use different whatever we want. So let's say we can go back to our color gradient. Look here, maybe because here or something else. So but then you should do this with the black and white thing in the bump as well. But this looks not uninteresting. But this is nothing what I like. But yeah, we have lots of different. It's nice. And here, if you want more of this, let's say I want more stripes. Let's go back to thing here. We can go to the tag, and here I think it's the V here. When we go to 20, I think we get a lot more stripes here. It looks great. And if you want this for our thing here, simply make a black and white. Can I also copy this one? I'll show you this. Copy this gradient, go to the bump, and paste the gradient here. So now you have this bump which fits this one. Here we see it nicely. Okay, but I want the but this looks not bad. I like this one. 200. Let's try it with the normalizer. Paste this gradient. Yeah, we see it nice here. Yep. Ultra does it, but this will no. Tangent is okay for me. And if you don't like these colors and you don't want to do, I use the other one again. So let's go back to this guy here. This of course is now far too many stripes because of this guy here. Maybe 50, maybe give it a little more. Yeah, 75. Okay. And let's paste this gradient again. I copy, paste, copy, paste, paste. Okay. I don't think we need the normal here. It's okay for me like this. And yeah, what I showed, so we can now go to here and color and go to layer. And in the layer we go to effects and we can change the hue, saturation or whatever we want. So to get totally different colors. So oh, this is nice. I stay with this immediately. I like this. I like this a lot. Oh yes. Okay, and if we are done and we are happy, we can now hide this. I copy this up to the, bring this back, have my volume builder and press play and get my animation done. This is the whole trick on this one. That looks so great. Look at this. This is so nice. I could watch this hours. Yeah, maybe I bring the volume builder because some are a little jaggy on top. So do you see here? It looks more than a six-sided thing. So stop the animation. Bring simply this in a subdivision surface, and you see that gets nice. So we can set it to, yeah, but it makes it even nicer. We'll animate a little slower, of course, but now we have a nice round thing here. Oh, so great. Okay, that was this one. It was a shorter one, but I think it is an interesting one, and it's definitely a funny one. And yeah, please let me see your, your thing. You can do this maybe on a sphere. Or so. There is so many possibilities with this. But you see how simple it could be. And for me, it was just no, I could not sleep. Just a glass of ouzo, and then this came out. Okay, so there will come very soon another free tutorial, and yeah, and yeah, what can I say? If you have questions, requests, complaints, please let me know. And yeah, and sorry that I can't make so many free tutorials at the moment, because I get a lot of paid requests, and mostly of them these are patrons, and so of course I do Patreon tutorials. And yeah, but I don't stop with many people ask me if I stop with the free tutorials. No worries. I will restart to make more free tutorials again, but it will be in September, because the middle of August I go on vacation, and then for 2 weeks, and so I'm back in September, and then I will restart with the free tutorials, so to make more free tutorials as well. Good. One more. What I don't like here, now I see it. It's 3-dimensional, so it goes in every. What I did in my original one was I just set the camera here. Let's go to 80. Then it comes to me, and now of course I have to go back. In the C is the camera. I think minus 600 or so. Oh, wrong direction. 1000. Huh? 600? Or minus 1000? Yeah. Minus 2000. So it looks more almost like isometric, or yeah, you know what I mean? So that it is not so 3D, and not so spreads not to every direction. So I like this more. Yeah, but it looks nice with even closer. But here you have seen. Here you see it nice with the bump. You see the layer nicely. How nice this layers up with the even without normal map. So that it looks great. Yeah, so this could look as well very nice. I want to make a middle render out of this here. So middle render. Evolution 720, save this, adjust the current frame. Let's see what we get here. Shouldn't take all too long to render. That renders very quick, you see. Here you see great this layering from the bump. Here you see it nice. That looks so great. And this would be enough if you have R24, or I think in R23 we had the denoiser. I'm not sure it was in. If you have in S24 we have a denoiser, so you see it's very noisy, but it renders extremely quick. So when we add here a denoiser, render this again. The denoiser helps a lot here, especially in such cases. That looks so nice. Wow, I would swim in this. So, and now comes the denoiser. This is a post effect. You see how nicely this is first and second. This is totally great picture. It's even 1 second faster. Wow, I like this. Okay, so I save this, and this you can patrons can later download this project file, and maybe you have the patrons. If you're a patron, maybe you realized it. I don't delete anymore the scene rig out of it, but you can't use it. You get it in the scene file, but you don't get any scripts or something else. So it means not so. But if you're a patron and can download it, you pay already €5 and a month, and so you have a not totally working rig, but an okay rig. Good. Okay. So yeah, as I said, requests, complaints, questions, please let me know. And yeah, next tutorial will come as soon as possible. And now I wish you all a great start in the new week, and stay healthy, stay safe, and yeah, all the best here from Austria, Vienna, und tschüss und baba.